and welcome back to another day of our promo for the Experience Love After Divorce event. And today I'm here with Nichole McLeod. Nichole, it's great to see you again. Just tell a little bit about yourself and what you're doing, because I know there are people who are watching you for the first time.
Well, my name is Nichole, and I have been a fitness coach now. And I keep saying this, but I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing to reveal my age. But I've been a fitness coach now for almost 3 decades, 30 years. And I take pride into helping people find out what is holding them back from accomplishing their fitness and health goals. And, my career, I guess, has shifted a bit from just focused on programming to focus on the why that people are looking for getting themselves on track. So that is just a little bit into what I do. But thank you very much for having me today, my friend.
Yay! As always, it's pleasure to have you, Nichole. And yeah, that's a perfect topic because today we want to talk about self-care and how important it is. Why is it so necessary for us to give the time for ourselves and what's in it for us? Nichole, can you share a little bit?
One of the biggest things that I ask my clients when we first start out, I don't even really these days talk as much. Of course, I go over their physical health with them. But if I've identified that the most critical aspect of self care starts up here, it starts
Mhm.
with understanding what is holding you back and why. And a lot of the times we don't want to look into our formative years or look into our past, but it's critical to understand what is the culprit for starting your self-sabotage. And I think this is a topic that all too many of us, especially when you've gone through something as terrible as divorce or any sort of life change, of what's the reason for the self-sabotage and what is holding you
Mhm.
back from giving yourself the life that you deserve, because only we can do that.
I love it. I love it. And again, when we talk about it, it just, especially as women, right? Because we are women and we talk about it, especially as women. A lot of times we give out to everybody and we always leave ourselves to be the last. So,
So
what,
true.
yeah. So, like we always say that if our cup is not filled, we cannot really give anybody else. That
Mhm.
means that sometimes when we are just running around through our day, it's great just to pause and to stop and give yourself even 20 minutes of rest. It could be like a cat nap or something, just give us more energy and come back to ourselves in order to carry in the day. So self-care could be different for different people. And let's just talk a little bit about different ways we can take care of ourselves. And Nichole, since you are the fitness trainer, coach, tell a little bit about how important is physical activity.
I want to actually step back before we talk about the physical activity part, because that, of course, is just it's a given. We all know we need to move our bodies, but it's more than just identifying what physically you need to do. It's more than identifying the small changes that you need to make. Little things like, taking the time for skincare, little things that make you feel better about yourself. But what's more important is to find out what and the why you're being held back. And I can tell you right now the importance of physical fitness. I can tell you right now why it's important to eat healthy. I can tell you all the things that you could do today to make it easier for you to be happy, but none of that will even work or even be applied to you until you figure out why you're holding yourself back from doing that. We all know you need to move your body. I can tell your listeners right now, Kay, fitness has been proven to be the best antidepressant, the best, way to maintain your anxiety levels. Eating healthy, nourishing your brain is going to give you the what it needs to be able to function at its optimal capacity. But if you don't know why you're not doing the things you already need to do, that is what you need to get to the bottom to. And the self sabotage starts there. It starts with understanding that I know what I need to do. I look in a mirror and I know that that's not my best self. I look in a mirror before I hop in the shower and go, oh, okay. Or maybe you're happy. That's great. But it's the understanding the why. So the first step that you can do to truly get yourself and your physical health back on track and in shape is to understand what and why things are holding you back. And a lot of the times that I've been talking to clients recently, a lot of the times it's insecurities that started decades ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is an example. Insecurities that maybe started at the beginning of your marriage that just failed. Maybe it was your spouse that over the years beat you down, and you thought to yourself it's not worth it, and you've lost your ability to understand your self-worth. And that is where you start to learn that that's the beginning of your fitness journey, is right there. So what can I do for a suggestion is to dig deep and to understand what is stopping you. There's that little voice in your head. Why aren't you going to the gym? Why aren't you? You're stressed out that day. There's so much going on. Why aren't you putting on your shoes and going for a quick 10-minute walk? Because that's what's actually your body needs to do at that moment. Find out what's stopping you. And that's the first suggestion I can give people.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Yes. And when it comes to me, what to share about self care, just like really tuning into what makes me happy, right?
Yes.
And when we talk about emotions, just see that you can actually have the tools to shift your emotions. And I teach my clients also to have like that emergency list of the things that you want to do in order to shift your energy. For instance,
Ooh, I
if
like that.
for instance,
Yeah.
if you're not in a good mood, and let's say you feel anxious or you feel stressful, you realize that this is not your normal state of being, right? So how can I become back to myself quickly using the tools? And for instance, in my case, what works, I can just walk in the nature, or I can just put the high beat song and jump around, right, and just dance. Again, it's talking about the physical movement, right,
Yep.
to
Yep.
to elevate your emotions and bring you on a higher frequency. Whatever it is, maybe for somebody it's just the bubble bath with the candles, just to soothe your state, right, and just become more calm and focused. Whatever it is, but everybody has something that we can put on that list of emergency. Next time something shows up for us and we are kind of short of breath because something is going on inside of us, we know, okay, I have this emergency list. Let me see which of these things I can do right now to shift my energy and to shift my focus, so I'm going to feel much better. What do you
I
think
love
about
it. It's the strategies. And you know what? But what I
it?
just opened with there is understanding the why behind it. As soon as you understand the why behind it, that's when it's critical to start to have the strategies in place. So when you
Mhm,
figure out the why behind, let's, for example, when you don't feel like moving your body and it's the best thing that you need to do at that time. Well, these are the emotions that I'm feeling when I don't go. Write them down.
mhm, mhm,
Understand why you feel what you do, when you feel what you do, and then have a plan in place. Because if you
mhm,
don't have a plan of what you're going to do when the scenario comes, that's when people fail and that's when they stop. We're all
mhm,
human. We're all going to have bad days. We're all going to feel we're less of on bad days. We're all going to have I want to throw in the towel on those bad days. But like you just said, have a list of your strategies that you're going to use to incorporate to get you out of those bad days. So
mhm.
good job.
Yes, absolutely. And another tip that I can give, and see, this is the wealth that you are going to receive once you join the event. That's why we keep talking and keep just encouraging you. If you haven't registered yet, if you registered, kudos to you. We are so
Woohoo!
thrilled that you're coming in, right? But if you did not, you're still kind of pondering, is it for me or it's not? Just think about it. It's another investment in yourself. When you invest your time and your energy into something where you can feel much better, right? And let me learn what other experts are going to be sharing. So this way I can elevate myself on all level, on the love level, on self-love level, on just being the best of me, right? Even though I am not in the relationship right now, but I know the more I can elevate myself, the faster I'm going to attract that partner that I'm craving to have in my life, right? So it's very important. And what I wanted also to add to that, like self-care, like really understand what is something, like even one thing, just put it on your calendar, mark your calendar, 15-20 minutes a day, something that you can tune in. Maybe it's just meditation if you're into that. Maybe just like sitting down and writing down about your day. How did you feel emotionally, right? So there are like all these beautiful tools that we can practice and experiment with to see what really works for us, and to see how we can bring the best of us and really have that self-care, because it's so so crucial. Because sometimes we're just running through day by day by day, until we just like our body is the first signal that something has to change, right? Because when we feel exhausted, when we start having the fever or something else showing up, it just like our body signals that there is something on our energetic field that has to be something to require the change, right? And that's exactly how we know that we do have to set aside the time for ourselves every day.
Every
Nichole,
day,
what do you think?
every
Yeah.
single day. And you said it bang on there. You need to understand your emotions in it. you know
Mm-hmm.
and like I'm becoming a broken record these days, and it was my own challenges that I went through, and I was humbled beyond belief. I was that trainer 5 years ago that was go hard, go go go. And yes, I had clients that received that accomplished their goals, and I had a lot of clients that, like, people loved my classes and they were full of energy and everything that went along with a good class and a good training session. But I had a missing link there. And that missing link was identifying the emotions in my clients that were struggling on those days to get there. Because it's not about the knowledge. Like I said at the beginning, we have so much information at our fingertips at any given time. Chat GPT it up and you get yourself a complete program that I'm sure would do great. But it doesn't address the humanness in you. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the missing link for self-care, is we forget that we're human, and we forget about the emotions, and we don't even consider the energy behind the emotion that you're emitting into whatever you're doing, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that right there is that missing piece, is identifying the emotion that you're in the moment that you're not acting your best. And when you can identify the emotion that you have when you're not, you know, doing whatever that you would think you'd like to do. If it's okay, what was my emotion when I skipped the gym? What was my emotion when I self-sabotaged and ate that garbage that I put in my mouth?
Mm-hmm.
What was my emotion when I lost it on this attendant or whatever? What was my
Mm-hmm.
emotion when I said, forget it, I don't care what I look like anymore. I am who I am. All those
Mm-hmm.
things that we repeat in our head, what is your emotion behind it? And write it down.
Yes.
Everything, write it down, remember it, because day by day, and you'll be surprised. Like, a lot of people think it's hokey pokey, it's silly, it's whatever. No, it's not. You find your purpose in life through your hardships. You
Mm-hmm.
find your purpose through those times where you fail. And if you don't write down the why and the emotion during that failure and during that time where you're not taking care of yourself the way you deserve, you're not going to ever get yourself back to where you deserve to be. Deep
Yes,
thought.
absolutely. I'm totally with you on that. And so I just wanted to add that it's so important to recognize our emotions, because obviously we were never trained that we have the emotions, right? Because
Mhm.
as far as I remember,
Especially our generation. Let's be
yes,
honest, right?
yes, and I remember it's all about, okay, you can handle it, you are strong, you are
Yep.
independent, right? And we talk about that men themselves were always like out of touch of the emotions, because it wasn't even considered that, like A man has to be a man without expressing anything,
Yep.
and a woman, it's like, okay, you have to man up. So, like show no emotions. But the idea is that now we grow up so much out of touch of the emotions, but emotions something that we want to connect with, because we start understanding ourselves better, and we start like really navigating through life much better, right? That's the whole key about it. Like, do you really want to live much better in terms of know how to handle your emotions, understand your emotions, know how to be physically present there, and to have the best outcome in any area of your life? Yes, then you gotta have that self-care, you gotta understand it, and you have to be in touch with your emotions.
And know that you're worthy of it. And I've said
Mhm.
that a few times. I don't think people do. I think we all know what we need to do. We hear it. It's plastered all over social media, like I said. But do you know that you're worthy of that? That every single person is worthy of love. Every single person is worthy to be healthy, is worthy to live a strong, prosperous life. But yet we let the hustle and bustle of the world and other people and the energy of other people really pull us down. But
Mhm.
until you identify that there's even an issue in the first place, and until
Mhm.
you identify the whys behind it, like I said, it's going to be you're going to kind of see that you're maintaining the same challenges and they'll
Yeah.
just circle around until you break that cycle, right?
Absolutely. So I love that conversation, Nichole. So let's just tune in. Why do people want to join this event?
I don't know why people would not want to join. And I said this yesterday. What a great idea, first of all. There's all these fitness summits and health summits, and what, well, I've ran one, so I know there's
Mhm.
some out there. But
Right.
this is, I think, something that a lot of people will really take and be able to use in their everyday life. I think that it's an embarrassing topic for some people. I feel that it's something that a lot of people don't want to admit to and don't want to feel that they're struggling with. I think it's important for community and I actually mentioned this. I wrote that book. I wrote a book, and
Mhm.
in my book, I started on a Tuesday. I talk about that we don't really know the why behind the worthiness of us. And we try so hard to fix things and other people or fix our marriage and fix whatever. And we
Mhm.
lose touch with the
Mhm.
underlying connections, right?
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
think that this is amazing to help people understand what went wrong, and the most important, how to prevent it from going wrong again in the future. And
Right.
the community, like I said, the fact that just some of the people that I've talked to of your speakers, I know some of your speakers and they're
Mhm.
absolutely amazing and have so much to offer. And oh my gosh, your freebies, you have like over $5,000 in
Yes.
giveaways. Buddy, that is
Mhm.
amazing. And the nice thing I think people need to know is these giveaways are like no strings attached giveaways.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's amazing. There's nothing to lose. But what I was going to say is it's really important to remember the why and the how to behind it. And this series is really going to give people the tools and the resources that they need to get themselves back on track. And I don't think you've missed anything. You got everything from nutrition to fitness to, well, all your speakers. Why don't you name a few of them?
Yes,
Your
absolutely. And
energy.
we have the speakers talking about self-love, talking about connecting to our womb, and imagine that we can actually manifest from womb. It's like our treasury chest, something that a lot of people do not know, and I was like fascinating. And that expert Helen Knight is taking us through the meditation, like beautiful meditation through that interview series. So there are a lot of other experts sharing their journey about divorce and how they actually came out of it. And for everybody who has been through that, it was actually the blessing in disguise, right? So
But you
tune
don't
in.
have to just be divorced. I'm sorry. Before you end
Yes,
your thing, you don't
yes,
have
I'm
to be
talking about the ones that,
any.
yes,
Yes. Even if you're in a
absolutely.
relationship, this is for everybody.
Yeah, it is for everybody because the points that we are touching, it's something that we all are using in order to grow, in order to become the best version of ourselves. And we know once we become a different version of ourselves, we start living a different life, right? We attract
Yeah.
different people, we attract different circumstances, and we actually start living in a different reality. And that's
Yes.
the beauty of it, right? So please join us, have fun, and check it out for yourself. Again, we invite everybody because this is very valuable. This is very interactive, very interesting. And we'll see you soon on the actual event. Please just join. And like I mentioned before, it's 2 weeks thing, but you just have the interviews coming into your inbox. It only takes 1 hour per day. You have these interviews of 2 speakers per day for 24 hours. You have the time to watch it, claim the gifts, and next day you'll see another 2 speakers, and so on and so forth. So it's not that you have to be in specific time frame and be present. You can do it at your own convenience. Yes, anything else, Nichole, you wanted to add?
You know what? Nothing. I just think it's incredible what you're doing. So I am going to pray that a lot of people sign up and take advantage of what you have to offer.
Yes, and Brenda Liz is another great
Hello,
speaker.
Brenda
So,
Lee.
yes. So, we also want to welcome her to our life one of these days. So, I trust she's coming and also sharing some great gems, what she's going to be talking about. And we'll see everybody soon. Thank you so much, Nichole. It's always a pleasure to have you. All the
Thank you
best.
for having me. Bye bye.